back with another episode of R&R. I am your host, Jamerson Ballard. Let's get into it, man. What's going on, everybody? Happy Melanated Monday once again. Ooh, big money. Hallelujah. Big money. Hallelujah. Man, yeah, man, what's going on, everybody, man? I'm trying to see, you know, I'm a little late. My bad. I normally try to get into this thing around 2 o'clock, and I'm late. But I'm here. Because, hey, what's going on with my nephew, man? What's happening? Alright, so, I'm not even going to worry about that. Right now, I'm having a little bit of issue trying to get into my notes so I can figure out what I'm doing, but I know what I'm doing. The topic of the day is the power of no. The power of no. And it sounds simple, right? But for a lot of people, it's not that simple. And it's simply because it's your need answering the question as opposed to, what I mean, your circumstance answering your question for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you need so bad to be whatever it is, whether it be liked or, you need provisions. You're saying yeah to stuff that you would probably say no to under better circumstances, but you're not underneath those circumstances for whatever reason. You know what I mean? It's not that um, you want to be an asshole when you're saying things like no to people, maybe even people you care about. Maybe it's somebody that knows you have a weakness for them in some way or another. You know what I mean? But it's power in the word no. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you come to the negotiation table, you don't want to have to say yeah because you need a win so bad right now that you can't afford to say no. That's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So today we're going to go over a few things that will give you a leg up in certain circumstances and to understand where you are so that you can do things to love yourself enough to give yourself an option, if that makes sense. Because, you know, and I just heard this recently from a guy, and it's funny how much you get gained from quote unquote comedians. You know what I'm saying? But at any rate, apparently there are three types of people, and I liked that idea, so I'm using it right now. I'm trying to think of the guy's name, but I'm drawing a blank. But shout out to him. It's there are free people and there are people that you can buy, and there are also, people that you can't buy. And sometimes, when you don't require very much or you don't know your value, that you'll give more than you should be of yourself in order to get whatever it is you're seeking at the time, whether it be love or attention or provisions like places to live, food, etc. And it's you don't necessarily want to be the type of person that don't understand your value, because you now you're casting your jewels among swine. Time is an asset that you can't get back. It's not like money. Although people like to say time is money, you waste years trying to get love from something that ain't gonna return it, or somebody that's not gonna return it, and you end up hurting yourself in more than one way. And so you want to empower yourself, to understand who you are, what you bring to the table, and require something for that in a way. And it's not necessarily about money, because anything you can buy is pretty cheap. And if somebody can buy you, then, hey, what's going on? How y'all doing out there? It's hard to when you in such a great need. It's hard to say no to people. And when a person feels like they can buy you, they'll take advantage of that. You know what I mean? They might treat you really bad because they feel like you owe them. And then there are people that you can't purchase. You know what I mean? Because they're going to require something from you that you can't. It's bigger than money with them. You know what I mean? We want to aim to be those type of people, because we are all valuable. There are no big I's and little U's in this program. You know what I'm saying? We want to kind of, we just understand your value. So the one thing you can do in order to keep yourself from being in what I like to call struggle mode is to learn how to save money. You know what I mean? You can save a little bit of money here and there and give yourself a bit of a cushion if it is, and you want to, they say pay yourself first, so you give yourself a few dollars out of everything you earn, and you set it to the side like you never seen it. You know what I mean? You definitely want to, pay tithes and offerings and things like that. It's just the fact that when you put money to the side for yourself, you give yourself something to, some room to negotiate, because a lot of people, like rappers, used to get in these deals, and they say deals, but it's really a loan. And you so thirsty, you signing away your whole life for the next 30, 40 years for $100,000 right now, and that ain't a lot of money after you tax it and things like that. You know what I mean? And then you looking crazy like, where is the money? Where is the money? You doing all these shows to make up for the fact that you done borrowed this money that they got interest on. It's ridiculous. When if you were, and when we looking at Kanye kind of going through the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And look, man, I know how people might feel about Kanye. I'm not necessarily in agreement with everything the man does, but we definitely need to try to stick together, man. You know what I mean? There's got to be some form of camaraderie, and just because the man is doing more than any of us have ever done, and it's all new to him. You know what I'm saying? So where's the understanding for that person? And I'm not saying that we forgive everything. I mean, we definitely want to strive to be forgiving and forgetting, but we're human, and so I understand. But we give all these other groups so much forgiveness. A person that cussed you out and told you to get out their store, well, you back in there next week, but because you have a need, you shopping there. There's a need that needs to be filled. There's something you need from them. So we want to, if we all individually become stronger as people, we will also become stronger as a group. And when we become stronger as a group, it's not a lot you can do to destroy us. And that's what we want to get, because it's not like the stick together factor in the black community is all that great. And so, but we have to start with ourselves first. And that's the reason for the show. I mean, a lot of people focus on couples, love, and being a couple and trying to pair up. But if you are not a whole person before you get into a relationship with another person, you're two half people, and you have this power struggle trying to figure out who is in control of the relationship, but when you never had control of yourself in the first place. And so now you expect this person to, as a man, or as men, we might expect for this woman to submit to you, but you haven't submitted to your own plan of action. You haven't coming up with your own, way of doing stuff that has been successful for you in one way or another. And so, being able to step away from your circumstance and actually say, no, as good as that sounds on the front, what you offering me a place to live, what you making things a little bit easier for me, I have to respectfully incline and say no, so that I can shore up my own circumstance and then negotiate from a point of power, for lack of a better word. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to be negotiating from this need point, and then you get stuck with the raw end of the deal because you need a place to live, or you need some, some whatever it is that you need at the time. It's not wrong to need things, but it's kind of bad going into a circumstance extra needy like that. It just makes you look bad. I heard that when you go to auditions, it's good not to even be in there eating all the food looking like you ain't ate all day. It's ridiculous. And I mean, yeah, a lot of stuff that Kanye is saying is true. And that's scary because a lot of people want to be able to do some of the stuff, or go places, and it's like, well, whatever. Kanye can't help me with that. You know what I'm saying? I need to be able to buy this and buy that. And so, yeah, I need to be able to keep my job. So I'm going to say that Kanye ain't talking about nothing, but, you know what I mean? We at Capital Letter Club, man, we want to, I'm doing this show early, man. A job is not my source. I have a job because I need a job, and I would like to work to keep money coming in until whatever business ventures I've entered into has not become big enough to where it supplements my income altogether. But it's power in being able to be like, I don't want that job right now. I don't need that client right now. The money is not worth the headache. There's power in the word no, man. To not be so needy and thirsty for a man or for a place to live that you saying, or some ass that you saying yeah or no. I mean, you saying yeah to something you would normally be like nah to under better circumstances. So we just want to give ourselves a better set of circumstances. Like I said, one thing you can do is save some money. Save a little bit of money here and there. When something happens, you don't have to kiss ass to get what you're trying to get, or deal with people you wouldn't normally deal with, or take an offer that you really can't afford to refuse. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. If you made $100, you save 10 of those dollars and put them up. You know what I'm saying? Every week you get paid, you get $300-400. You take $40, you put it up. You know what I mean? And you act like you ain't even got it, and just keep doing that until it becomes a habit that you know what I mean? And it's hard for some of us to do because you need so much. But we just want to keep ourselves from being so thirsty. You know what I mean? Because you got to mind your wants, man, because somebody wants your mind. Somebody out there sees you being beautiful as you are, and they want to be able to give you something that they feel like you can't get for yourself. But it's either going to be hard on the front end or hard on the back end, paying all that, whatever it is, the favor that you accepted back. I'd rather be the type of person to be like, thank you, but no thank you. When you're going on a date, you should go Dutch. You should have your own vehicles. You should go in separate cars, because we're getting to know each other. I'll tell any woman, any young lady, that it'll raise your level of respect from a man if you're not expecting him to pay for everything right off. Because now you don't owe him no pussy. You had enough money to buy whatever it is you want to buy. You buy whatever it is you like. You buy that shit. You go buy you some steak and lobster if that's what you want. And you show that man that I don't need you to buy me nothing to eat. This is what I do when I go out. I'm going to buy the drink that I want. And you know what I mean? You buy what you like. If you a chicken tender type of nigga, you buy chicken tenders, you buy fries, you eat that. But if you a steak and lobster type of individual, you buy that and you let them see that you buying that for yourself and you don't need nobody to buy these things for you. If you're going to do something for me, do something that I can't do for myself. And that'll just raise the level, that'll raise the bar for the, not necessarily for the date, because the date is like to establish, you're not trying to out flex on each other. You know what I mean? Let me not say it like that. I'm just saying, don't think that $30 or $40 worth of food is going to get you no pussy, man. Or no dick. You can't buy no dick for me. I don't need a ride. I got my own car. I'm saying no to dates before I get a job. Because romance without finance is a nuisance. Although you look nice and we look good together, I'm going to have to, decline for a minute until I get my bread together. But you don't have to say it like that. Just, well, let me get your number. Let's get to know each other. You know what I mean? But it's perfectly okay to say no. If a chick wanted to fuck you when you ain't got no bread, just think about how much more she gonna want to fuck you when you get your shit together a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? It's convenient, but that don't necessarily mean you gotta accept it right now. Just take the compliment and go on about your business. Because the way you start a relationship is the way you'll end one. So if you start a relationship needy, then you'll end it because you're needy. And you don't want to enter into a relationship extra needy. So yeah, if you're just getting out of a relationship, but you need some pipe, I mean, you might have a set of brothers that'll lay pipe for you because you're already familiar with them, but you don't feel like they the type of dudes you want to actually be with. You know what I mean? You keep that together, do that, and you go on dates and you scout dudes, but you're not thirsty for no relationship right now. I'm trying to heal. You might not even be dealing with the dudes on a sexual level or women on a sexual level. You just focused on you right now, fasting, praying, abstaining from things, becoming who you need to be so that you don't be looking all thirsty in the eyes for no dick or no companionship. That turns a person off, man. That's scary. Like oh, man, chill, bruh. Chill. Go jack off first, then call me back is what I'll tell a woman to tell a nigga. That's all. Yeah, man, what you got on? What that pussy smell like? Bruh, do you know what this lady's name is? Where she work at? How many children she got? Stop, man. Stop being so thirsty, dudes, women. Be strong enough to understand that you're not strong enough and say no for now. But I'll gladly take your number, your contact information, and we can get back with each other at a later date. Right now, I'm just kind of sorting through some things. Thank you, but no thank you. One of my favorite phrases. You can adopt it as yours, 2023. And then, you don't have to wait till 2023 to do none of this either. You can start right now. Tomorrow. That's the best thing to do is to starting and stop starting and then keep going until you develop a habit. Then the habit becomes a behavior. You know what I mean? Saving is not something that everybody like to do right away. The struggle be real. Trust me, I know. But now you got to call Curtis or whoever that you don't really want to talk to with the missing tooth and the limp to help you with a spare tire and a jump because you didn't put $15 instead of you going out to eat every weekend, instead of you wasting money on Netflix when they ain't really talking about nothing right now. Just cancel that subscription for this month. Do something different. Fix food at the house for this week or 2 or 3. You know what I mean? Take that money and buy something you actually need to buy to keep you from being so needy in the time of need, man. And like I said, I'm really not trying to preach, man. I'm just saying, bro. It's a lot of relationships that are are situationships that become relationships because of lack of having a place to live, or you know what I mean. But if you was to take a step back, stop smoking for this 3 months, take that money that you would have smoked with and stack it, you know what I mean. And instead of always needing to ride, buy you a bus pass, catch the bus, put your mask on, catch the bus to get to work or whatever. You know what I mean? Instead of, you know what I mean? It's things that we have to do. We have to make sacrifices in order to like be a little bit freer later. You know what I'm saying? And it's not easy, but it's, trust me, if you give it a try, it's worth it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna suggest nothing I don't do myself. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm just this most uber successful person, but you have to, you know, win where you can until you learn how to just be a winner instead of accepting L's all the time and being a loser and just taking what you can get. A big part of being a man is doing what you want to do, not because you can, but because this is what I want to do right now. And if you're a real lady, you don't have to accept dudes just because they offering dick. I mean, I know that y'all know that already. What do you think about Nipsey Hussle when he was motivating people? I think Nipsey was doing what he was preaching, what he was practicing. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like I said, man, some of these people ain't necessarily even the most talented people, but I'll rock with you because you a solid nigga. And I'm not gonna be popular for saying this, but to me, Nipsey wasn't the dopest rapper of alive. And he's dead, rest in peace, and I love dude, but mostly because he was a solid nigga. And he preach and be a solid person, you know what I'm saying, before you become whatever it is you gonna become. You can't go into no cripping before you become a man, or no Phi Beta Sigma or Omega Phi before you become a man. You should be a man first, and that's what this show is about, is learning. I mean, I want to be funny, but on the real, you gotta be a real dude first. I don't care if you laugh. I don't care if you like this shit for real. It's like, for a lot of you niggas, it's like vegetables. You know what I'm saying? But it's needed because to clean you out, to get the bullshit out, to make it easier. You take this, and then you're going to step a little bit lighter. But I think, you know, Nipsey, rest in peace, bro, was just a solid dude, man. You know what I mean? Very approachable. Not, you know what I mean? But, you know, the motivation just came because, you know, because of the love and being in the struggle, man, and seeing it. You know what I mean? This ain't no, we came from somewhere out in the outskirts, and you know what I mean? And then, you know, just start talking to people that struggle. No, I was there. I'm in it. You know what I'm saying? So, man, like I said, man, out there in Atlanta, Summer Hill, struggle, real. Oakland, Brookfield, you know what I mean, Seminary, DAG, CG, struggle, real. You know what I mean? Out in the West, it's real. And out here, I mean, you know, this ain't no Edmond game. This is real. This is, man, right there in it, next to it, in the county, which you been did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, not above nobody, but not taking no L's like that, bro. And then, you know what I mean? It ain't always about winning. It's about how you take your L's. You know what I mean? But like I said, man, just learn how to say no. Learn how to say no, man, because when you can say no and understand that that's for your benefit, it look different. Have you been seeing what Charleston White been promoting to the public? I mean, yeah, and I appreciate a lot of what Charleston White has to say. Overall, the dude's method for doing it might be a little bit crash to me, but I mean, I don't necessarily feel like he's lying about a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? But that's just because, you know, and I like I said, man, I seen a lot of great things that were meant for good become something bad. Gangs weren't necessarily supposed to be nothing bad. It's a lot of stuff that happened to corrupt the gang infrastructure. But a lot of that is just being able to. It started out of just trying to, make sure that people had a way to make money and protect themselves. You know what I mean? I'm a big fan of the Black Panther Party. You know what I'm saying? And what they stood for. But a lot of gangs spawned from that. They spawned out of seeing Huey P do their thing, and it's like, I mean, the new age gangs. A lot of these guys, like I said, man, they've taken something that was good and they perverted it. But that's how the devil will do anything. He take it and he perverts it. A good thing, either do it too much or too little, and that'll ruin it. So it's a balance. You don't want to say no too much. You don't want to be an asshole. You just want to understand who you are. And before you get into these groups, be a man, because that is something you cannot take off like a t-shirt. It has to be in you, not on you, man. And being a real woman, it's hard because a lot of the dudes that y'all have to pick from ain't worth the fuck. But that's why I'm doing this show. Not so much so you can have somebody to pick from, but so that we just have a better quality of people. You know what I'm saying? That don't need to join a group of other people to become or feel like they can be somebody. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the shit on gangs, because I see the value in a collective going towards a common goal. It's just now it was the common goal, and that's a lot of what Charles White is talking about. It's like they don't even know what they doing. There's no. It's just I want to say that I'm a part of this group so I can get some pussy, or I can maybe have access to some money and a level of power, but there's no organization in it, and it's no direction. Which begs the question, as an individual, where are you headed? What's on your mind? Because as a man think, so shall he be. You know what I mean? What are you trying to accomplish? Do you have short-term goals? It shouldn't take a woman to ask you these 3 or 5 questions for you to really feel like that you need to do something. It's scary, man. It's scary because a lot of dudes only do something so they can get some pussy. Most of y'all only doing anything like washing your ass and brushing your teeth and putting on fresh J's is so you can get some pussy. But let's not be that kind of person, man. Let's not do things just so we can get some ass. Let's do it because it's the right thing to do, man. And like I said, you don't have to say yeah because a person asks you. You know what I mean? Do you want to stay with me? You know what? I like the idea that, of being with you, you know what I'm saying? But to be honest, I need to be on my own for a minute. So I've been saving a little money, and I'm about to get me an apartment. I mean, you just, you know what I mean? You don't have to move out your mom's house into a girl house. You don't have to join a group of niggas because they ask you. You can say no. I've had to say no a few times. You want to get put on? You know what? Thank you, but no thank you. I don't think I should join your gang, sir. I move too much. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah, if you got children, I would say better. If you're a young person, you gotta make better decisions with your dick, man. You can't let your dick make decisions for you, so that you don't have this burden. But for those of you, because it's not the shit on people who have kids and fathers, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes your circumstance deemed a child necessary for you to focus on what you need to focus on. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all is too wild, and God blessed you with a kid so that you will have some responsibility and you keep you grounded. If you look at it like that, instead of like this thing that's in your way, it's person now that you have in your life is going to keep you focused. It was. It definitely was. Everything happens, because, God's will is you can't determine what God's will is. You know what I'm saying? You got to do what you got to do. But a lot of it is, you doing what you want to do, and, you might be operating outside of God's will, but you need to figure out what God's will is in your life before you start having children, preferably. That way, you know, you can show them what they need to know by doing what you need to do. You know what I mean? Because kids don't learn from you telling them. They learn from watching you. You know what I'm saying? And I had to learn that. It's not like, you know, I got a lot of kids and nothing, but I'm raising a lot of niggas, man. And I'm not fucking their mamas. Because they looking at me. Sometimes you the only Bible some of these dudes gonna get to read. So instead of me running from that, you know what I mean, instead of me complaining about that, I just figured I should start doing things better so that, you know what I mean, I could be of help to somebody. And but yeah, and like I said, it's not like I got a whole lot of advice, but my whole thing is right now in this particular episode that if you learn how to say no because you have more of what you need, then you'll be in a better predicament later on down the line. You know what I'm saying? You won't be so needy or accepting of things that are detrimental to you in order to, you know, get what you need. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to take that job because you know down the line you're not going to like it. You know what I mean? It's better to just be able to have some money saved up so you can be like, nah, I'm going to wait for this other situation. I'm going to try to do something different because as much as I want the money, that's not going to work out long term. You know what I'm saying? It's all the, you know, it's a lot of things that can be a factor, but you just want to give yourself a chance in this life, man. With that, I mean, my name is Jamerson Ballard. This is R&R. I mean, shout out to the Capital Letter Club and those of you who are putting this in practice. And the Rant Gang, I love y'all too. My Cash App is $SuperStee, SuperStee. If you know, felt like anything I said today was something that you could use, and you know, but at the end of the day, man, if you just put this in practice, you'll be doing all of us a big favor. And so we gonna be having all these unwanted kids and these situationships and these angry people running around, and you know, bosses that are, you know, misusing their power because they're not happy at home. It's really ridiculous, man. But it starts with you. And with that, I'm out, and y'all have a great day, man.